entertaining way to start our day here at VCT Game Changers Champs. I'm now joined by Coach Jovi on the side of FlyQuest Red. Now, no Phoenix, no Astra, no Fade coming into this map. Truly a big surprise for us watching it. What was the reasoning behind this comp, and just how long have you been cooking this?
We have a few tricks up our sleeves. It's been a little bit of a 2-month grind that we had right after, winning OQ1 back in GC, going into GC3. We had time to practice, so you don't know what to expect when we start playing. So.
Wow. We absolutely loved it. Best of luck on map 2.
Look at those smiles. You can tell that FlyQuest are definitely feeling it right now, especially the coach. I mean, we did see that he was definitely up on his office.
I don't think he's sad. And these chairs are very comfortable.
I know. He was just like
one.
this the entire time, and really feeling it, screaming and everything. We were feeling his vibes too.
Even on that interview, we were seeing that. I think he just wants to go back into the room and keep having that experience, because it is a bold move to come into an international event, and as he's saying, is spend that time into changing things up and preparing yourself for the international stage and having things, even with what happened today and Sunder not being able to play, go this well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if UR is going to draw him after that, because he was getting very animated, and I think that's good to see. Energy and vibes, it's what they talked about before the game, and they certainly brought it to the stage. Even from the very first round, you heard Thea going a little bit crazy. This is a very good sign for FlyQuest. Also calls into question for Zeta the map pool. Like, the fact that they go towards a haven somewhere that they've struggled up against Zipto, it wasn't even one of their stronger performances that they've had against the Goliath of their region. It kind of then puts that question mark up there, and I think that they thought this would be a weakness for FlyQuest. This would be somewhere that either trying to force the composition with a new player would have their stumbles, or that they'd have to go to something new and even better. They're going to be trying it out, but I think what the coach said is very accurate. They've put the work in before this.
Right, and it just confuses me as well, just because they don't have a lot of experience on this map, right? They've only played it twice this entire year, so to suddenly bring it out on an elimination match, I don't know. There are a lot of question marks in my head for this.
I was expecting some ISO action. Like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, like maybe like in this moment, as you were saying, the I don't know what they're gonna, if they're going to be changing something, if not having all the players is going to really make a difference. I was expecting that, but on the side of FlyQuest, we were seeing Starbound just going absolutely neutral, like on the attack and also on the defense. I love the fact that the score was so evened out, because that just means that there's a very well-drilled plan with a lot of layers, with a lot of trays that is ready for these situations where, yes, the individual brilliance is there, but there is someone else. There's always a different layer, another player that you have to go through to secure the round.
Yeah, and I think that's the real difficulty. You know, looking at Zeta, this is a map of Haven where Serena's typically finding a lot of value, a lot of the similar value that Starbound is. They have the same role regardless of side, and well, we saw a lot of head-to-head duels, and Starbound won 5 out of 6 of them. That meant that constantly there were edges of the map opened up for FlyQuest, and we saw a number of rounds where that resulted in them finding a pick and garage or around there and moving it towards that side of the map for free.
Exactly. You just look at the difference between those two roles, right? You have Starbound on the other side, and Starbound just absolutely owns every single site that they are on, right? Especially with, like, the trap setup as well. They're so creative. They are so creative with all of that. And then you have Serena, which, she definitely had to step up on this. And unfortunately, it didn't show in this map. I wonder if things will be different as we step into the next one, especially since, FlyQuest, as we keep mentioning, they are on this amazing momentum here. The vibes are immaculate, and we just saw, Zeta earlier, like, holding each other's hands, just telling everybody to just hang on there. There's still one more map to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Or two.
Or two. Oh my God, you're so convinced, Midge.
Hey, where's our copium tank? Where is it?
Get it back out. I need it.
Yeah, but I think that also from the attack, they were not finding a lot of success. I know that, it wasn't a lot of rounds, it wasn't very long, but still, every single time that we saw FlyQuest just going on the aggression, just always having something prepared, for them to not feel at ease and not even have time to think, always being the ones to react.
Yeah, but that's not to say that Zeta didn't have their moments, right? They did have amazing moments. Zuzu did get a lot of kills, and of course, we also have our Verizon high-speed moment, and this one goes to Moko with that ace, Kakuka.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about her in the pre-show, the way that she's able to keep her cool, even in this situation. We're talking about the reflex time and time again, and this is the kind of rounds, is the kind of moments that you can always rely on Moko for.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said many times, we've seen this regardless of the map. Moko just seems to be the shining light for this roster, a consistent player putting up the numbers. And wow, it'd been quite a while since we'd seen a multi-kill in that map. And Moko certainly delivered what we were all waiting for.
Yeah, I just worry that, maybe Zeta was heating up a little too late at that point, right? There were so many rounds wherein they needed that kind of energy, and I just felt like when it came up at around, I think, round 9 or something, and Suzu happened to, get a few multi-kills, then the round side switch, and they lost that momentum again. So I just wonder when they're going to get that energy up again.
Yeah, and it's not going to be any easier, right? Just think of the rest of the best of 3. We could have another situation because Zeta is still to win a map in Game Changers Championship. Same goes for Suzu. We talk about the experience, or more so the inexperience that the rest of the players have playing on this stage. And it's night and day from what we saw from Flackers the other day and today. This strength and this decision to play this way on the first map.
Yeah, and I feel like, we have to know, of course, what Zeta Division is feeling like. So let's hear what Coach Ryota has to say ahead of Map 2.
I'm standing by with the coach of Zeta Division, Coach Ryota, and Coach to do some translations ahead of Map 2. Now, you guys are facing elimination right here. This map is going to be very important. There's a lot of pressure. So I wanted to ask you, what did you say to your players, backstage before they came back out to make sure they can bring this to a Map 3?
今日の試合は敗退がかかった重要な試合で、このマップが、重要なマップになってきます、こんなプレッシャーがかかっている中今、この休憩時間にどんな声を選手にかけましたか？
いつもといつもやってるような相手とちょっとリズムが違うところに今自分たちが苦しめられているように感じるので、そこのリズムをどうやって作っていけばいいかをイメージしやすいように、声かけしました。
So the pace that the opponent is playing at is quite different from what we are used to. So I commented on some words so they have much more clear image of how to get that pace back to where we are used to be playing at.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much for translating, and good luck on Map 2.
Pretty much what we were talking about just now, right? When are they going to get that pace that they are used to? Because FlyQuest just plays at, that NA pace that is so iconic, and it's just something that actually the Japanese region as a whole just needs to be able to step up to.
I think that it's a different level of difficulty because, again, in the press conferences, Ryota was speaking about how they weren't able to not only stop the pace, deal with the duelists on the side of crew, but right now what we were seeing on the score is not a duelist diffing your team, is a whole team playing as a unit and facing off a different challenge, a new problem for today's match.
There.
And they're vibing.
Oh, she's dancing. Oh. Look at those moves, man.
My goodness. Yeah, no, I think that one of the things that's inspiring for me, though, that maybe we will see a bounce back for Zeta is that conversation of pace in the late round when you send your Cypher out, when Serena was looking for space, she was constantly running into Starbound. That shouldn't happen again. Now you know that that's a player who's got your number, who's waiting for you to make those plays, and hopefully moving forward, moving on to Sunset, it won't be as much of a factor, although I think that's not typically where Serena is towards the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking about pace, we need to talk about the Neon, something that FlyQuest brought the last time that they played the Sunset the other day against Shipto, and something that we do not initially think we're going to be seeing on the side of Zeta. As we know, the map has suffered a bit of changes, and we also know how strong and different the game has made the strength that Neon has these days.
Yeah, I actually wonder, since, they had to sub out Sonder, are they going to go back to something that's a little bit more comfortable for them? Are they going to bring out that Cypher Deadlock?
I mean, I think that the way that Lace was playing the Breach was wonderful. I did not see the nerves on her. She was just vibing with the rest, and also props to that effort, because I think that FlyQuest is making her feel literally like she never left. And I think that, yeah, they're going to just keep the same composition, and we're not going to be seeing the change on Zeta Division here on the attack. As I said, on the attack on the first map, they weren't even able to secure that first kill. FlyQuest and Dodo were just pushing on them and not granting them anything.
Yeah, well, we've seen Sonder do a remarkable job on that breach last time around, and I think with what we've seen from Lace, I have no reason to suspect that there'll be any kind of a fall off here. FlyQuest Red seems set to take this series 2-0, but I do hope that Zeta will be able to just dig deep and pull this out. 2 incredibly close maps against Visa Crew Blaze. We know they've got what it takes. It's just putting it into action on the server.
Well, we're going to see indeed if they can put it into action. Can we get to a third and deciding map? We're going to find out, and we're going to send it back to your casters. Here's Uber and Wyatt.
From a don't want to run in Japan, domestically, Zeta Division looking so good. Fighting hard to get through Pacific to make it here to GCC. One map stands between Zeta Division and elimination from the tournament. And FlyQuest coming out of Haven looked pretty good. Having selected this Sunset map, Wyatt, we've seen FlyQuest take a different tact in terms of composition.
Yeah, a map where Zeta had performed really well, impressed me during their qualifying run. And yeah, if you think back to FlyQuest and GC3 and even prior, they have lost Sunset to Shopify this year 5 times. Could never find their footing here until during this little off period before GCC. They swapped Dodo to Neon, an agent she wasn't playing previously.
No more deadlock either, right?
Dominated on yesterday. We'll see if they can continue this high-level performance on a map that they just weren't that great on before.
Well, Suzu's on the side, well and truly. Satchel charge gets her deep over towards Boba, but there's going to be a triple swing. Yeah, that's ugly, tough to deal with. Suzu tries to train the aim, at least finds Lace, but Starbound and Dodo Nut have already gone to work. Dodo with the corner swing, easy pickings as UR falls. And it's a 3 versus 2. Mocha trying to play that post plant, but Thea is on the hunt. That's an easy backstab. FlyQuest with yet another pistol.
Fly very patient there, just allowing Thea to work slowly on that flank, find the easy kill. Frankly, I don't even think it should have been as close. It's pretty mad that Suzu was able to find one in that situation. Backside right there, yeah, pretty ridiculous.
And there's less safe places to hide now in a post-plant scenario as an attacker. You are perched up on the box, which is all well and good. Yes, if you get flanked, you're in deep trouble.
Yeah, that full-on B-main spam Pearl cosplay gameplay, not as effective as it used to be. You have to set up those crossfires within the site now. Starbound with the Outlaw full classic buy again for Zeta, so dodging those round 3 perils where you have a light armor running into the one shot from that scoped weapon.
Starbound doesn't linger here. Zeta has plenty of util to try and make their way through B. Cyber Cage is going to slow them up, but Orb is secured for Suzu. Now eyes turn back over towards mid as that one way at A long will be renewed by Thea.
The one trip that Zeta have was actually placed on B. You can see it on the map there. So over on A, they do have to be weary of a potential push up towards main, though also on an anti-eco, not necessarily expecting aggression at that level. Fly very patient right now, just covering the angles from safe positions. That Thea just holding, ready to fall back if they go towards A.
FlyQuest just re-cleared B main with that Aldrome, but that was heard. You are aware of it sitting towards B long, so this could be a fake here just being solved by Arco. Draws 3 defenders out of position. Now, if Zeta are quick about it, they can get onto this B side scot-free. Arco sees a rotate through mid, takes some shots at Ev. Really inconsequential damage, but we'll see if it matters now as Suzu once more satchels forward. Backside taken by Zeta, but note that they're not scaling into this half of it.
Just hiding in the dark cover. If someone goes in there, could get punished.
All right, Suzu waiting. Right-click claims Ev, and they find yet another one. This time, Zeta Division play around their half of the B side. It's going to be up to Thea with a stinger to try and make this work, but it's a double face right around this corner. Gotta know it, and she gets the spray down. Just one more. 2 HP to Dream. Teleport across is not to be. Serena brings her down. Mastercard thrifty for Zeta.
How the hell have they gotten away with that swinging momentum? They've gotten the B site entirely for free. They were baited into a full rotate off the breach utility that was headed towards A. Playing within this dark cover, Ev, frankly, unnecessary risk it was about to drop, leaps into their death.
Oh, mate. That was about as close as it gets. But a nice recovery from Zeta, who opted not to scale to back at B site. Wanted to play on their half of it. FlyQuest ran into them. A little pop B main here. FlyQuest with nothing but the classics to work with. I don't mean music from the 1960s.
And it is just patience from Zeta now, re-clearing mid, watching some of these angles. If someone wants to take a poke through market. And Zeta really, they're opting for the classic Sunset comp that we've seen all year with the Rays. Most teams at this point switching over to the neon look. It has been so effective here, what you can do in tandem with the breach fault line, mixing in those plays where you rush down mid, fault line into tiles, take that slide into there, find a first engagement, how you can pressure close on A, the setups you can have in B main. It is just a great proactive comp in that way. The Rays though, just that old reliable, still consistent.
One way thrown over towards spawn either way, but she would have broken the crosshair placement of Ev. The high-low setup here over on the site. Arco with the plant. Obviously all rifles here for Zeta Division. They've got everything they need to take a round like this. For FlyQuest, they might have a crack at it, but it might just be a matter of perishing to the spike.
And once again, Thea on that flank mission, much like the pistol. Lone going towards main, was maybe thinking about going for a teleport, but it's just exits that Fly are playing for. Not going to do anything proactive, hoping that Zeta walk into them.
Yeah, that smoke towards A long, trying to force Zeta to this side of the map. It's going to work out. So, it's going to get a little hairy. Paint shell deployed there. Don't know how to find UR. Both these forces clashing in Ev on that corner. Okay, good economic damage there for FlyQuest at least.
Yeah, that was really good. Just baited into the full stack waiting. And that contact...
Just a little Omen smoke behind them.
Yeah. That contact taken by the 3 players towards spawn, swinging, allowing Ev to just sit patiently tucked behind the box. Simple but effective setup to deal significant damage.
FlyQuest with some ultimates online now as well. Overdrive at the ready for Dodo. Some pings there in towards mid for Zeta. Maybe something a little faster, something up-tempo here.
Yeah, you can see right now, Akko is ready with a fault line from spawn at the moment.
Suzu with a showstopper as well. Spoke to top mid.
Bit more patient than might have expected just looking at the minimap, but slow control of mid. Trips watching either extremity, of course, and the cam for B main too in that standard window position.
And we're going to see so much here. Wow, that was illuminating. Now, though, has to stand and fight. Aftershot going to be thrown in towards market. Starbound. They lock it down. That's massive. Now, Zeta Division, wind out of their sails. Arco briefly foraying into the B site. Instead, will duck back, get an orb, and get pinged by the neural theft.
That was very swift from Fly, capitalizing off of Zeta being, exposed in mid to multiple angles. There was a good aftershock from Akko that forced Ev out of position over in market there, but Zeta not really able to capitalize, losing out on some of those duels. That was obviously a big narrative of the first map, that Fly were winning on the individual mechanical game. Zeta need to catch up in that aspect. It looks like they'll be heading out just after 2 maps.
Zeta without Neon as well. It's a little bit harder to threaten the split after you take top mid, you throw fast lane down, threaten to wrap around to one of the sites. A little bit harder when you don't have that available on Raze.
Does Akko dare risk a Rolling Thunder here? Probably not at this point. Oka wanted to make something aggressive happen, try and catch off a player early. Never mad at a play like that in this situation.
Okay, clean. Donut walks into that one. Arco flashed off the line, and Lace steps up. FlyQuest here with a defuse, and they will have brought Zeta Division's momentum to a halt. And again, that one foray in through mid and the extension of Zeta Division into market goes horribly wrong.
You're going to see coming up into this next round too. I mean, that moment there was nice from Zeta, but it was the 2 players top mid assisting the players that were feeling that intense pressure in market that paid dividends. But heading into this round, you're now seeing the consequences of Zeta being forced into that classic exit stack on the prior round where Fly did all of that damage. They just can't afford anything here.
Suzu takes a Guardian. Somewhere Nismo has his ears burning.
Revealing area.
So challengers pilled. so NA challengers
so little
pilled.
obscure for this current audience.
Yes, the Japanese audience, they love that joke.
NA challengers?
They definitely were watching NA challengers.
Let's just start calling the NA challengers the World Series, Valorant. What do you think? I'll go down a treat. All right. And with the Owl drone clear mid. They has been doing much of this. Conditioning with these one-ways every single round, regardless of how many players for FlyQuest are over at the A side of the map. Very heavy mid presence, and Lace is having to ring Suzu down as she just tentatively checks that top mid.
Time for the Guardian Hot Potato. Moko picking that up. Moko was very good on map 1, lest we forget. Came up with the important clutches, impact kills, and swing rounds.
Good timing off that flash, but all it really allows for is Zeta to take a quick peek. They're going to pull out, though. They definitely managed to draw Donut out of hiding. She's hunting. Starbound here in a position to pinch on Arco. I don't know if they can get out of mid alive here, holding the corner. Dodo is ready for it. Ferrari Pig swings around and zap goes the overdrive. Yet another for Dodo. Oh, glitched up here for Zeta Division. Barely with enough weaponry to defend themselves. It's just Serena back in market. No chance to even get the spike down. This one's over.
A little painful when you have a Sheriff and you're getting ran at by the overdrive Neon. Not the weapon you want to have in a situation like that, but what can you do? Full eco round. And now Zeta, everything on the line in this full buy. They'll have a couple ultimates to play with, and it was just a simple first kill from Lace that got the opening, shuts down the Guardian.
Yeah, Suzu has the singular gun right brought into the round, but she peeks into a double stack top mid.
And again, has it because of that awkward economic position that Fly put them in previously, where we can get a decent, barely, I wouldn't even consider it a hero Guardian. It's not a very heroic weapon, but able to at least afford something.
To be fair, Dodo will force into it a lot herself. We saw a bunch of Guardian pickups for her on Haven, and she's able to get a lot of value out of it. So, in the right pair of hands, it can be an absolute menace. Attack balls here being called by Zeta Division. Coach Rioto taking the opportunity here in this first half to try and get Zeta Division bouncing back. Remember, they lose the pistol. They win the anti-eco on the other side of it. So they string 2 rounds together, and they're walking into the next one with those massive Initiator ultimates. Rolling Thunder, Hunter's Fury, both at the ready.
And if there's one thing we know about Coach Ryota and the Zeta Division approach, he has the 5,000-page strat book of set plays that they've come up
Zeta
with
timeouts
in their
feel
free
like
time.
EG Potter timeouts. Like, they're that impactful.
The coaching really is fantastic for this team. Can't be understated. Had big impact on Haven. Created some swing rounds where the Zeta momentum started building. They started getting back into the game just a bit. And they were based off of big ultimates in some of those moments as well. So we'll see what Ryota's offered up to the team as an idea here.
They are still hitting that one way from the other side of the map. Dodo chopping in the bit here to take a bit more real estate over towards the B side of the map, and that's been trap-wired by Zeta Division, as you'll notice.
Camera taken out.
See Serena sitting well back now with the camera being destroyed.
Fly had put a lot more emphasis over on that mid and B side. You can see them exploring that B extremity, taking main. Oh, hello. Zeta for the free control here. That trip is very awkward. Spray just barely whiffs from Starbound.
Now, basically a chalk outline drawn of Suzu, but she's still alive. So, Cybercage at least gets Starbound out of that position.
And you can see right now, Thea, once again, trying to go for a flank. And because of that, look at the position from Serena. Was watching that so far back. Won't be in the action. Wow, Rolling Thunder sent out, hoping to catch players close. Not going to be the case.
Slicing so far back to that Rolling Thunder, barely tickled at their toes. Now, FlyQuest lying in wait for Zeta to push off the site. They punish them. Serena and Moko now have to lock it down, but there's time for FlyQuest to make their way in. Serena finds one. Cybercage deployed. Starbound sat on the other side of it here as the rest of FlyQuest come in through spawn. Serena has to go wild here. Moko, only one for her. And now the 1 versus 1. Lights on the defuse, Serena. Dark cover in the way. In she plunges, and Lights is ready for it. And that's a defuse. That is going to break the back of Zeta Division.
That is just the perfect timing from Lace. So aware of when the swing was coming. The millisecond that Serena was going through the smoke. The Vandal was back in hands. So much impact from the sub in this series. And frankly, this looks to me like this was the idea out of the timeout. We take the A site, we still have the Rolling Thunder, we go for that proactive spawn
push. Is that an overcook though?
It's not an overcook, but they forced the strat. They didn't peel it back and think, okay, let's just relax now. We don't have the info that they're actually there. They really tried to force it to their own doom.
Here's Suzu though getting aggressive now, but Dodo comes in behind her. Suzu's able to find the 1 and make it 2. Spectre goes to work. She's down to 5, but she's done her job. Lace can creep up on this one, sees the gun dropped, and it's an easy pick off. Raise down. Meanwhile, Ev makes their way into mid, picks one up. Arco with the Sheriffs. God say to a Sheriffs. Always a terrifying prospect.
Absolutely, and now upgrading to a Phantom. If
One
you
needs to
are,
get the spike back.
Yeah, they need to recover the spike, and if they can't get back to Elbow, there will be another free upgrade for UR, who has a Hunter's Fury, by the way. There's an opportunity to safely use that. Might be able to flip this round on its head, convert this eco.
Buying in the next either way. Zeta finding a thrifty here. absolutely massive. Takes the game to a one-round affair. Now, crucially, Starbound is still alive, and their util is already set up at B.
That camera is here. Will they use it right away, or well, yeah, they will. So they've gotten that info recon back. Site allows Zeta to know that the site is for free. Being planted, tucked in the corner default.
That's a trip cleared. Nice little shock dart there from UR.
Standing ahead.
Another trip further back on the side, but Zeta aren't going to push up here.
They are opting to play this passively. Imagine we see Akko fault line into an easy Hunter's Fury from UR, who is in a safe position. Maybe get a free kill when it's tapped. Aftershock, just to delay first.
And it's going to buy some time. Akko here now, looking to play off of her own fault line. That's a huge kill. Now it's up to Ev. Hunter's Fury also available. This will further delay the spike defuse. Ev has to take the challenge, and a headshot is instantly hit. It's UR with 10. Chance to upgrade to the weapon, but has to swing that corner first. Spray comes in, ping out. There's just not the time. Ev goes for another tickle, and UR has played this to absolute perfection. Ev has no choice but to allow themselves to be blown apart. And a hard-fought Mastercard drifting for Zeta.
Utility was just gorgeous from Zeta in that 2v2. No HP to really play with compared to the Fly players. Everything at the right moment. That early recon back site as well, when they got in, allowed enough time for it to be cycled later. And that was really the crucial moment. Knowing that Ev wasn't sticking the spike, that they didn't even get it to half because they were close up and broke it. Incredible team play from those remaining two, the initiators from Zeta. What a round to win. Puts Fly's economy in a very tough position now.
It's precarious. Dodo really trying to get ahead of the game here, but standing on top of a paint shell means it's a 1-for-1. Dodo miraculously still finds a kill, but look how low Thea is after that. The rest of Zeta still hale and hardy.
Ev using that drone to re-clear mid as the dark cover obscures the view of anyone playing top mid, so they want to get that info.
Exactly where you are.
They're all theft, plenty of corpses to work with apparently. Just the one is enough. So Zeta Vision see it all. That heavy B and market presence for Fly is sniffed out. Now Zeta head over to A.
Spike drop.
Taking the time though with it, allow Starbound to get back into this site.
Starbound hoping that the rest of their teammates can make it here in time. Fully entrenched in a lot of danger. If an Aftershock gets thrown back box or a fault line, they're going to be in trouble. But Fly have rotated in time. This has been so slow from Zeta. They're in real danger.
The trips have slowed them down so much, Wade. Here's a rolling thunder from FlyQuest. They're going to look to play off this Starbound. The first into halls and catches Akko. UR's good for the trade, but there's more to be done here.
Moko has the teleport and the spike goes all the way to B for the fake plan. Or, sorry, for the real plan. Excuse me. As the Zeta players were thinking about, what is that from Serena?
She's on the move.
How does that connect?
She is locomoting through mid.
The developers need to take a look at that clip. That shouldn't be possible.
Not even playing a Neon, by the way. Moko is pushed up here on this B side. There is low after that early engagement, and it's too late. The corner check comes second. And now Lace has it all to do. Super sub assistant coach, you name it, she's done it. With a bit of spray, I like that idea. 5 in the chamber though, that's not a lot to work with. And still time ticking down. Lace has to push this, but UR is so canny. UR's too hard to catch.
UR is so intelligent in these situations. Again, these low player moments, the util that they have, not risking it with the fight, just playing to the win con of time. What a
gone so wrong for Zeta. That A site where they get hit by the rolling thunder, Wyatt.
I mean, it ends up working that they just bait out that big ultimate. Just another little cherry on top of a gorgeous round.
Like, that gives extreme psychic damage. No surprise here, we have a timeout called by FlyQuest because they are exploiting the slow pace from Zeta. Like, the fact that Starbound's able to get into that A site behind the traps and all of FlyQuest have time to rotate there to help out. That it's all a ruse. Zeta pull them all to that site and then have a contingency. Moko heads to the B site.
It really just is having that contingency that they kind of risk the double mind game of, we know where everyone is, maybe they rotate over, and now we slow down and they're like, wait, are they just going to be like something?
It's right on Haven too.
But then it's all good. If that doesn't work out, we're just the spike was always on Moko, who had the TP, and so yeah, at any point, contingency, and the contingency plan was crazy. And also, I mean, again, Serena, you can't be allowed to just like full strength death. I mean,
She is breakneck speed.
yeah,
Virtually.
that was just mental. Timeout called now from Jovi after crucial rounds from Zeta. It is that eco round window that does turn the tides of this game immensely.
Yep. Chairman of
FlyQuest.
the anti-chair league. Trying to get into the ears of FlyQuest there.
They are on this eco with Lace, Hero Rifle, Bucky for Dodo Nut.
Zeta here might look to get within striking distance of Halls and make a fast play for it.
This could get really dangerous in elbow with the FlyQuest setup.
Suzu
Not
just
tucked and just taking that jiggle. Boomba coming out, which you're going to want Lace to break, and she does.
So Dodonut still, unbeknownst to Zeta Division, stuck in that corner. However, Zeta doesn't take much to give them the heebie-jeebies about heading aside. They are headed elsewhere now. And notice, this time no presence into mid. That our drone re-clear from Ev actually sees nothing.
All the while, it's Serena just containing B main. Pressing forward now, clearing those corners. It's a fairly vacant B side. Of course, the trips to contend with, but when you've got the shocks, when you have the nade as well from Suzu, should be easy enough to clear these out. The close one, of course, to make sure that you're not going to walk into that unbreakable one from any guns. And danger for Suzu. I mean, more than danger, death as well. Yeah. At least a trade from UR.
Highly punishable. Start out here with the Sheriff. Can't get out. UR. Oh man, she has been going off these last few rounds. And now, notice that very deep dark cover over towards, geez, almost Spawn here from FlyQuest. Keeps Lace out of Boba for an extended period of time. She's yet to be able to re-clear that space. We are in the full post-plant hold here, but Moko is the loose end here.
Off your feet!
Sat towards the back of the site. It's rolling thunder from the attack side. Zeta Division now look to capitalize on it. They are tucked in the corner. Gonna be a crossfire here, but my goodness, that is dismantled all too easily. Lace says no. We're gonna pull the plug on this one. We do not have the money.
They carried that Vandal into the round. Now just going to leave with it. Rolling Thunder committed from Zeta just to ensure this round win and the building of the economy with a couple players still sub 1,000 credits, retaining 4 rifles, getting all the cash for winning this one so they can ensure some big full buys at the latter end of this half. Just a couple rounds left.
I think we're getting to see Zeta really show the best of their style here, Wyatt.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. It's these big tactical team efforts.
Right? Yeah, I know. And honestly, we've seen that from FlyQuest. Just a little bit of uncertainty about the tempo from Zeta Division. It looks like it's unlike anything they're really used to playing against.
Speaking of ults, Razor, that's for Suzu. Easy to crack open the site with that. Very relevant on Sunset when Raze was being primarily played. You are getting closer to the Hunter's Fury as well. So some big ultimates, again, late into this half, could get to them on a round where, once again, we have to pay attention to this FlyQuest economy. It's been in danger at so many different points here throughout this first half of Sunset. And yet again, if they lose this round, could be worth 2 for Zeta to extend the lead.
Very much distributed across the map, still on Zeta Division. Inside the last minute of the round. Couple of pings over towards the B side. We saw already a recon thrown out by UR to the B side. And again, maybe Showstopper forces a retake protocol here from FlyQuest. Suzu still has to respect these trap wires. She's been starred up in a couple of them. Here they come. Showstopper going to be used here by Suzu. Already Dodonut taken down. That was over towards the market side. Suzu into the back of the side. Speculative shot there with the Showstopper. Tries to swing on out, but Ev gets the better of her. They are on the backstab timing here. Zeta have given FlyQuest so much opportunity to start to wrap on them, but it's all down to Thea. Everyone else from Fly cleared. On the side, they tried to anchor. It was too much for them. You are with 3 kills in the round, and Zeta gets 6.
Thea really has been on so many flank attempts. Zeta are actively fighting forward and dealing with that later, which is a good approach, especially how Sunset plays now on B. You can really take the fight to Boba. And then when Thea's in a situation like that, you can just ignore her. Just deal with her later. She's not doing anything at the moment, right? She's not there to send in a paranoia, anything along those lines.
Because that's not only the downside of that slower play, right? You do leave yourself exposed to being wrapped on, or your opponent's cleaning all the information about the map they need.
As was mentioned at the beginning of that round, the importance of it for Fly. You can see the consequences of that round loss in the buy that they have. Sheriffs, a couple weak rifles. An opportunity for Zeta to extend their lead. I believe the first lead they've had on either map this entire series. This was always the danger of FlyQuest picking Sunset into Zeta. Fly have certainly improved on it. They've been better since swapping to the meta comp of right now. But this has been good for Zeta in their qualifying run. Not just good, great, honestly. Dangerous pick from Fly.
Fly try and multi-stack top mid to catch a player, pushing up tiles. They just don't have the weaponry really to punish it at all. So Ev goes by the wayside. Starbound won't be spotted out by this bit of util now. I don't know if they realize that Suzu got past them there. What can they do about it? They wait for Serena. Now deal with the rest of them. Neural theft at the corpse, and Suzu wraps on it to fight too. That's devastating. Zeta Division with yet another round on the trot. That Coach Ryota timeout. 5 rounds in a row since then.
Again, I mean, cannot be understated the impact that the coaching is having on this team, and it is a treat to see Suzu really coming to life on this race on map 2 here, finding that 3-piece in a situation that got more than scary, attempting to get out of the choke when the dark cover was there, when Starbound wasn't spotted, when there was the overdrive in their face.
FlyQuest said, Donut said, we need to be having fun to win.
And here we go.
I think Zeta are having all the fun. Suzu getting a lot of the action.
That's that confidence really starting to flow.
Okay, Hunter's Fury is being exchanged across the map. Suzu eventually falls from a re-clear by Fly. And they have heavy Hall's presence. Marco set up to deal with the push. There should be a crossfire here for Zeta Division. But get out there. Okay, nice cyber cage timing. Donut's going to swing it. God, she forces it. Gets one.
Exactly
Lace takes what she can. Just give her the 1 kill to back away now, further into Hall.
And at this point, Lace does just need to fully retreat, excuse me. She's well aware of that, gather up with the rest of the teammates, one of which is Ed, who had a recon, just sent it out for a re-clear. And now the fault line, excuse me, has cycled for Lace 2 when they play for a full retake in this situation. And Starbound alive, so B is being covered with the trips and a cam in main. Fly are set up nicely to be able to convert this 3v2, get the 5th on the board as we head into the second half after this.
Well, they'd be pleased to make it a 7-5 half at this rate.
30 seconds
really
left.
feel like they've lost their grip on the reins after the first 6 rounds.
And with this time being taken as well, Ev should be able to cycle the recon. It just came right back up.
Spike planted.
So critical utility that Zeta are going to have to work around, and at the player deficit, they're fighting forward. I love this decision. Catch Fly out early if they can win these duels.
Looking for a big spray down though. It's going to get messy either way. There's the fault line that may have hit Serena. Recon, Serena has to clear it now. You might be the one to have to stand up and push into this. Fly. Slow and steady. Gets them their 5th round. Makes it a respectable defense half, but Zeta Division getting to play their game, getting to have fun with it. Find themselves a lead heading into the half.
I think we really did. You mentioned it before. We got to see the best of Zeta Division on that attacking half. And I'm excited to see what they can do on defense as well, because they have some more crazy set stuff that I've seen them do before.
The best of Zeta Division. Is it going to be enough to keep them alive here at Game Changers Champions 2024? Stick around after the break to find out if they can snatch up Sunset.
Red Bull gives you wings.
you.
Name another person that has spotted a bug in this.
Zeta Division string 5 attack side rounds together, looking to come alive. It's a question of whether they can keep that momentum up. They're already a map down in this series with Ascent as a decider. Japan's delegates looking to hold on and force a third map.
Zeta have been tested so hard in this tournament. First round opponent, Crew. A Crew that almost beat G2 yesterday with Dodds looking like one of the best duelists we've got in this tournament. Not even looking like, absolutely is. And now up against FlyQuest, who have been just a bit below SR in NA all of this year. The talent on this team, outrageous. Lace back, was out with injury. At a time was, I think, certainly their best player on this roster. It's been such a challenge for the Japanese side, and they've made these games close. They've shown so much quality play, quality coaching, and now finding a lot of confidence on Sunset, which I felt was always a dangerous pick from Fly. It had been so good for Zeta online.
Here we go, attack side kicks off with FlyQuest headed over to A. Do a very crucial pistol. Boko with a quieter game as opposed to Haven. Still stood up in those important moments. We'll look to play for retake as Zeta set up towards spawn and link side.
Zeta's big retakes on A were good in the qualifier, but don't just fighting forward, finds the first.
UR felt like she had to push ahead of that aftershock. Instead of falling back off the line, instead of losing out there, it's an aftershock over on that plant location. This might force FlyQuest into action. They're getting activated over towards Link. Dodo is chasing.
Gotta go.
See very quickly. Zeta back away in that area. Laxo elsewhere. Pick up on Moko over towards that Hall's side. Suzu finds 2, make it 3. Now has to try and clutch it out. Dodo, that is an alley-oop if I've ever seen one.
It's at half as well, it's at half.
Give it a tickle. Lace comes out and still wins it. A close shave there for FlyQuest Red. Lace maybe also going down the line saying, all right, we've got to keep it together, keep the nerves at a minimum. They win that important pistol round, but it comes down to the wire.
So much proactivity from FlyQuest, fighting into Link. They find UR. Recon off the table for the retake. So tough to work around that when you're Zeta Division. And then the further push through Link, which Suzu was forced to retreat from. And as that's happening, the rest of the Zeta players in main, they just have to go into the site.
There.
And at that point, they are fully encircled. They made a good go at it.
Little TikTok TP from Moko there as well. Unfortunately, doesn't pay off. Starter back here. Suzu gets that all control A side.
Yeah, and a consolation of that round with Suzu getting another additional orb. Looks like they might have the Hunter, Showstopper, not Hunter's Fury, just into the 3rd round.
Right, well, Zeta opted to anchor it here into the B side, despite an imminent push. With dark cover behind them, they commit. And ultimately, they get very little done. Dodo and Thea at least are low.
Grenade!
Suzu opted to bring a stinger into this round. We'll try and pay the wall. That is a stunning paint shell in the back corner. Finding 2.
There's the ult. Showstopper's coming through.
That is 3 paint shell kills in 2 rounds for Suzu. Oh boy, she is unhinged. Looking for another there, but the range is too much. Ev able to stabilize. Holy smokes.
Yeah, and what did the devs say? Abilities don't kill in Valorant? It was something along those lines earlier.
Wait. Gunplay.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Perfect gunplay.
2 words or 1 word, whichever way you like to say it. It is paramount.
I mean, Suzu's got, what, like 6 total kills now already in the first 2 rounds? Oh my word, that was...
She had 4 in the pistol.
Frankly, just losing that out to the gun dip. They just didn't have the range to fight the player that was swinging from main. If not for that, looked like Zeta were going to steal it away.
Maybe that firepower narrative has to go away as well. Suzu with a veritable arsenal over the last couple of rounds. Brings it to bear to get Zeta close, but still, it's FlyQuest. They make up the deficit in rounds.
Zeta have an opportunity to stabilize here, stabilize economically, as they have a far superior buy after that damage was dealt on the prior.
Okay, here comes Dodo straight on in, stunned up. Moko gets her 4th, and now can back away comfortably enough with the TP. Arca was well watching the line. Moko wants to go all the way back here towards alley side.
Set up that crossfire now as well.
A timing? No, Starbound.
Read like a book.
Walks into a line. Aftershock here as well. A little awkward here, I think, for the FlyQuest setup in towards halls. A lot of smoke here on the side of TP forward from Thea. Arco wasn't quite ready enough for it. The Bucky finds Purchase, but Suzu is there.
Suzu is just absolutely on fire right now. 2 years ago was with Fennel at the first GCC, also in Berlin, went out in 2 games, couldn't win a map. This might be her very first map win at one of these international tournaments. The way she's playing, she's certainly making you believe that that's going to be the case. What is it, like 10 kills or something in the second half already? 9 kills? I mean, it is utterly outrageous.
I need to blow
20 and 13 is Suzu. Halfway to get another showstopper. She very elegantly put to work in that second round. Okay, much more pressure towards Halls. What? Okay. Suzy pushes up now. Paranoia could be an issue. Thea's able to win it out, but the trade's there. You are now quick re-clear with that Al drone. This is going to give Fly second thoughts. Lace and Ev have to back up on this.
Just utility piece after piece after piece in main that just bogs down the FlyQuest players, isolating one from the other, and Akko so aware of that possibility. That's 2 in a row from Starbound, where a flank attempt, that lurk attempt, is completely read and nullified immediately.
That could have been a devastating insertion there. Fly, wow! Can't get much done. I mean, Lace and Ev have to go for it there, but there's nothing to be done, and that's the economy of Fly snapped.
They are looking electric. Zeta division headed towards some ultimates. The economy more than stabilized at this point after losing only a few players on these last 2 rounds. This play towards A from Fly.
That Arco, that kill there
has just utterly failed in the face of Zeta's combined utility. In the face of Suzu, steadfast in elbow, finding first kills. Dodonut 2 rounds in a row, not able to do a thing in that area of the map. An area of the map where Neon typically runs the kingdom. Elbow, where the relay bolt finds so much value, where the slide finds so much value, but being shut down entirely and forced onto the Seiko.
Now into mid go FlyQuest. Pretty passive hold here for Zeta towards the market side. Serena might want to get ahead of it, but she might be too late. She has to hit Dodo on the other side of that cyber cage. It's going to drop in a second. Here it comes, Lace. Steps forward, yet another cyber cage for Serena to cover a retreat, and she gets the one, but Dodo responds. Now they're on the side. FlyQuest swarming over it. You are looking for a timing to make her way out of market, and Dodo is on the hunt. But there's nothing to see here.
Zeta, excuse me, they've struggled to deal with these overdrives in the past. They have to stop this one, but catches out UR on the retreat.
She loses an herb. Opsa, flee from the engagement. Now FlyQuest have priority, they have position all over B. Zeta force out to the extremity now. Donut still has some overdrive to work with. Suzy Wasu doesn't fancy it. Still wins it out.
Finally,
7 HP.
Able to shut it down, and this noise being made in market could allow for Moko to find value on the flank.
It's not being watched for right now, but Lace is tucked on B. Moko's not going to see anything. Suzu wins another. She's at 7 HP and still gets there. Oh, the audacity! It's magic! Suzy finds 3. Still has to deal with Ev. A showstopper would end the round. Paint Shell caught with it in her grasp, though, and Ev is able to punish.
Just so awkward when the rocket is activated at that angle, needing to fire it upwards. A weak Ev really offered that kill up on a silver platter. Suzu was just so locked in, using all of the utility, just so desperately fighting for the round win. Such an effort. And you're right, you are really losing their nerve in that moment, just trying to retreat, but loses out to the speed of that fully sprinting, Neon with the overdrive.
Such an important round for FlyQuest to take there.
Another eco swing. Both teams finding them at different points in this game. With the individual talent, those tough shots being connected with the lesser weapons.
That gets Fly 4 ultimates here to work with. See Dodo going for the overdrive in the previous. Zeta Division, no interest in fighting in B. Look to take mid.
Spike planted.
And maybe eventually Serena will get up into Boba, but that has not been cleared. Camera looking. A wide rack here for Suzu.
Moko going to be in tow. They're going to try to fight into main together. Fly making it look like this is old Sunset right now with everyone gathered up in B.
Got all to that dark cover, but FlyQuest need to be a bit more proactive and they know it. Ev didn't realize there'd be a second there, and so Moko's able to take the trade, but Suzu is off the board. Light steps up.
Well, Stunned found that kill.
Okay, here's Starbound now. Knows Arco is going to be coming for them here. They're able to win it out. Now around the corner, it's going to be Serena, the 1v1. But here, the ticks go. It's a little too close, and Thea should be able to hold it down. Serena doesn't have time for the defuse, wins the fight, but's gonna have to run away.
Just couldn't get it to half. Thea, the perfect timing on that swing, the millisecond necessary to force Serena to have to get off, knowing that if she didn't, would have fell to that spray from the Vandal.
Where's the money gone? Zeta Division spending through all of it. That was a close one though, those final moments. Thea, with that experience, really coming to the fore, guaranteeing a round win for FlyQuest Red.
What an effort from Moko on that flank. Found the trade off of Suzu and then had Lace's Rolling Thunder committed onto her. Counter paranoia, blinded up Lace, and then gets the stunned headshot tap. That is so sick.
Look at that scoreboard. Suzu with 11 kills coming out in the first half. She's put 13 together in 6 rounds. That's what you're looking for. And frankly, Wyatt, that's something that was kind of absent from Zeta Division in their first game. Getting their duelists online, setting Suzu up for success. Now she taking the game into her own hands. We've got a round coming up, but that's a little bit harder to do. FlyQuest still maintain a number of ultimates from the previous round, including Ev's Hunter's Fury. And now we've seen what Zeta Division are capable of. They are leaving it out there in what could be their last chance to show the world what they're made of for the year.
Now we have been pulverizing this Coach Ryota excellent coach narrative to dust, but it is more than well deserved.
Sufficiently tenderized.
Every timeout taken from Zeta has been of the utmost impact.
Virtually sous vide at this point.
He is always taking them at the perfect time and then calling a big ultimate round off the back of it. And look at the orbs currently for Zeta. They're getting close to that Rolling Thunder, to the Hunter's Fury. So when we head into the next buy, you have to keep your eyes on what they've got cooked up with those.
Okay, they make quite a play, Zeta, for that B control. Committing an Omen smoke there towards the lobby. No one way here on A long as a result of that, so Fly amble their way up. Pretty passive horse hold, just that Santa double face here for Suzu and Moko. In comes Hedwig.
Moko forced to retreat. They had a paranoia set up for Suzu, where they were taking that jiggle peek. Fly content just leaving off making that noise there. Akko hearing all of this in tiles and yet time to get out. That's a few too many players to contend with just the Sheriff.
Yeah, not what she wants to be at all. Here come FlyQuest either way. Fast lane to get them across through market. Fault line, though, needs to be respected. Dodo steps back of it. Looks like Serena got pinged out there briefly now. Aftershock throwing up, but Dodo doesn't care about it. Pushes in, slides on up. Serena and Arco are there, and the Sheriffs are still going to work for Zeta Division. But Ev finds 2. Moko's tucked here. Lace doesn't check it. A freebie essentially, and now TP back across. Suzu could have been threatening there, but Ev has been so good at locking it down. And Moko can't chase Starbound. 2v1, Moko low, Starbound takes a shot through the wall. One more would have gotten the job done. The FlyQuest, tooth and nail, get into the lead.
There was so much damage and so little time for Fly. They just eke that round by barely. Damage does matter though still from Zeta in this situation. Fly's economy is being kept honest. It is breakable, and that could be enough for Zeta to get this over the finish line, to get their first map win for Japan internationally at a GCC.
Still on the table. I mean, yeah, Jovi, sigh of relief there, because these Sheriff rounds, these anti-ecos from Zeta have always been terrifying.
Deadly. Deadly. And Zeta now, a round where they have 2 huge initiator ultimates in play. They're posted up with this cam bait setup in B main. The cam is taking contact on a Starbound, and there's the fault line. There's the double swing. Starbound just trying to stay safe in the cage, but can't. The trap works out perfectly. Sprung Starbound not ready at all.
Dodo not trying to get up mid here with that burst of pace, but slowed down by the paranoia. Fault line thrown out ahead of them, and she's trying to get into Spore, but there's a double face, a crossfire waiting for them. Ev again saves the day, finds 2. They're able to get back now in through alley to this A site.
Players are weak. Ev has the Hunter's Fury.
Lace here up on the corner. Wants to try and take this one. Hunter's Fury also being thrown into the mix. Oh, Arco waits on that. That is a massive kill. Player advantage now here for Zeta.
Health
Still
advantage. Health advantage as well. They're grouping up in main. They just need to trade this effectively. That's all it's going to come down to.
Three Zeta players now headed over towards the spike. Ev and Thea back to back. Have to salvage this now for Fly. Eva's going to pick out of this side of the cage off of timing. And Suzu with the spray transfer evens up the game again for the Japanese side.
Who but Suzu? Economic damage dealt as well on that one. Some ultimates extracted. One away from the showstopper. What is that, the 7th of the half for Suzu? It is just outrageous.
Kills.
Fully taken over the game. And again, what do we have out of the timeout from Ryota? Different trap setup in the mix where Starbound has been solo taking B main control, punished to the maximum straight away.
The horse is so dead, you're kicking a jar of glue.
Huh?
Yep. That's the dead horse that's being beaten.
Yeah, we're returning to that one. That took me a second. Huh?
Working with you, Wyatt. Working with you. You can't deny its impact, though. Zeta with a great fallback on A that round. Smoke to top mid and Fly. This time they dial the tempo down. Bit of an awkward buy for them here too, Wyatt.
Absolutely. More than an awkward buy. It's a massive risk. Staying with just a Sheriff. Look at the status of the credits. They've less than 1,000 combined. This is everything for Fly. This is must win after a round where they expended their ultimates as well.
Hail Mary for the attackers. And they're going to be given control of halls here. Zeta fall back, maybe even so they can get a crossfire in case there's a top mid exploration. But look at the map control for the defenders. Lace, though, aware. She comes off second best in that trade, though.
And now look at the urgency in the FlyQuest players. Feeling the pressure of the flank. Yeah, Zeta want to fall back towards B, but that's all right. Frankly, their intentions were always to play this A site for retake, so things haven't changed too much for them. Active from Ev, swinging back, Donut. Fast, double swing, traded out 1 for 1.
Okay, those were the most proximate players for Zeta towards the site.
And with UR down, that was a Hunter's Fury they were intending to retake with.
Suzu, though, one away from a showstopper. Aftershock here for Arco, but she is... Whoa! Suzu with a paint shell kill! Showstopper instantly, she is going for it! Where are the targets? They are spotted over towards the link here. Somehow Suzu presciently knows Ev's going to try and swing that. Suzu's still running rampant over the side, and it's down to Starbound, sat in halls. It has to be a 1v3 in this pivotal round for FlyQuest, but a triple swing from Zeta Division surely seals the deal.
Look at the status of the economics now for Fly after that fantastic retake from Zeta. It's Suzu again with a paint shell that gets the orb into the showstopper, makes the space. The rocket doesn't even connect, but it doesn't matter because the headshot, just the raw aim with the Vandal.
Suzu must have seen Eva around that corner just a little bit. That first paint shell, absolutely brilliant.
Nice. And then a perfect setup to clean up that 3 versus 1 as well. Tap onto the spike, instant double swing through the dark cover. Too many targets for Starbound to deal with.
We talked about this already. FlyQuest picked this map into a Zeta Division who frankly looked at their best on it. It's such a good example, a staging ground for the team play, the strategy and the adaptations of the Japanese side. FlyQuest right now have to pull off something similar to stay in it.
This is the map where it exemplifies what we were talking about at the beginning of the Zeta being this team where you can imagine how many dry runs they have of these big set pieces, the 5-on-5 retakes on a map like this, these early round plays that are so well drilled. Sunset really is the map for me where they show that in spades, the best of that approach to the game. And it has pushed Fly to the limit. They are on the cusp of getting Japan's first win at an international event here for Game Changers. Suzu's first win, it's so close they can taste it. You can see how bad she wants it.
After this, we're off to Ascent, which has been a pretty darn good map for them as well. Zeta Division have looked comfortable there in the past, but now all eyes on this round number 22. A round where Fly have had to call that timeout. Their economy is essentially broken. And Zeta have it all to show.
4 Sheriffs. Only 1 ultimate that they're really close to for any of these future rounds. That's going to be Dodo getting the overdrive, which has been a thorn in the side of Zeta. It's an ult that they struggle to deal with. Had in the qualifier, and frankly that has carried over to this event as well. So that is a future danger they may have to contend with, but they need to work their way through this Sheriff round already, and Fly have already won an eco on this half, so can never count them out.
Donut realizes there is some decent presence there for Zeta and top mid, so elsewhere they're headed. Serena, yep, that's the relay ball that's going to catch her out. FlyQuest here on a broken buy, managed to find the first kill of the round, but Suzu, another paint shell. And there's more where that came from, surely. Starbound gets in onto the side, but they're looking haggard. Suzu ready for the next wave of challenges, and Akko coming out from market will close it out with 3. Zeta Division on map point.
Hunter's Fury expended, but at the perfect moment. A round that Zeta could not afford to lose. The damage dealt with that. And also just forcing Fly into this awkward dodging position, not able to scale as far as they wanted to as a team. Zeta capitalized by fast, rotates in, taking the duels with the superior weapon, superior health, close things out. And now Donut does have that overdrive I was mentioning previously into this round. Something to keep your eyes on, no doubt.
It's a regulation 30 frags here for Suzu. Talk about firepower. Once again, Donut's been looking for these openings here, but has struggled to find them.
Gotta go.
Ev actually takes a hit from that aftershock there. Flash dodged here, more paint shells, more carnage. Suzy finds it, another one that goes a little bit low here, and Lace is able to bring them down. Player advantage still for Zeta as they fall back to the site.
They just need to stabilize. They're in the 4v3. Play to what they're good at. Play to this retake. They have all the advantage that they could possibly need. The neural theft comes out, but frankly, that's going to make Fly feel afraid. They can't go back. They have to go forward. They have to try to plant on A.
As a neural, all of Fly's plans are on full display. From Link, there's pretty heavy presence for Zeta Division.
The fault line just cycled up for Akko, but one goes down. Dangerous. Look at the pressure. Fantastic decision for Fly. The overdrive is out.
Moko TP's forward onto the side here, but the spike's headed elsewhere. Moko's going to try and get ahead of this with a TP to B. She's absolutely going to stick this and set up in main.
This is so cheeky. She could be anywhere. Fly have to clear everything.
Might be a passive line here that Moko's holding. She's not looking to swing it. It's going to be a plant at the back of the site here. Moko might need to wait for UR to get there, but this ping's already going towards his spawn side.
And the danger now is that Fly can just deathball trade this one player. What a jiggle! What a shot into the 2v2!
Moko doesn't quite know about the Boba presence, but that's being pinged out now.
They were forced to break the recon, make
The
noise.
timing! Oh my goodness, the timing! Moko with one more! And there it is! Japan has secured their first map in an international! And a game-changing championship! We're going all the way!
And you can just see how bad Suzu wanted this. Second time at a GCC, hadn't been able to win a map yet. Dropped 30 plus to carry that over the finish line. Several showstoppers in the second half.
Still on the raise, by the way, the more antiquated pick in many people's opinions, but my goodness, she gets used out of every element of Raze's kit.
Dropped 31 to win that map.
Unbelievable stuff. We're on deck for a map number 3, folks. Ascent will be on the table after this break.
나이스 하이가 터치